What's going on, guys? Counting Gains back here again. Your resident Jordan Peterson reactor. So I react to a bunch of different stuff, guys. And today we got more about cancel culture. You guys know my stance on this. I think cancel culture is absolute BS. You know what I mean? And if anyone agrees with the shit, it's because you have never been on social media or you have never done anything actually, you know what I mean, good in your life, pretty much. So that's an insult to everyone that agrees with cancel culture. Everybody that agrees with cancel culture is kind of weird as well because they want you to silence you. Anyone that agrees with silencing people is taking away freedom of speech, and that is not good, guys. You know what I mean? Just inherently, it's not good to take away freedom of speech. Let's get on to the video, guys. This is called The Truth About Cancel Culture. Jordan Peterson and somebody else is interviewing him. This one should be absolutely fire, guys. Let's get it. Hopefully the Jordan Peterson fanboys come out as well. I appreciate you guys in the last video. I agree with him that he is trying to make the food pyramid go away because protein and fats should be at the center of the diet. They are the best for you. So let's get it, guys.
If you could describe from a psychological perspective what you think cancel culture actually is and where it stems from.
Well, there's a malevolence aspect to it, which is just the delight that people can take in being destructive. That's part of the whole constellation of, let's say, antisocial behavior. But there's a more subtle element to it, which is reputation inflation. So the most valuable thing you possess by any stretch of the imagination is your reputation. And your reputation basically...
And when people try and destroy reputation, guys, it's bad ways. It's 3 bad ways to hell, guys. It's really not good.
I wouldn't call it a status marker exactly. It's a productive generosity and competence marker. And so if you have a good reputation, then people can trust you, and they can trust you to engage in reciprocal productive interactions with them. They can trust you to take their interests into account as well as your own, and to play stable, voluntary, desirable, medium to long-term games. And so nothing is more valuable than your reputation. And what that means is that people try to game the reputation system. And that's what narcissists do, and Machiavellians and psychopaths. They call that the dark triad. There's a lot of research investigation into dark triad personality cluster. And it's a variant of antisocial behavior. And narcissists have the confidence of the competent without the competence. And so what they do is overclaim their contribution. So if you work with a narcissist, everything that goes wrong is your fault, and everything that goes right is their doing.
There you go, guys. There's no degree of accountability. I know everyone in their lifetime have been around narcissists. I have been as well. It's absolutely insane, guys. The ability to, take information and, digest it is just not there, guys. They have no self-awareness. They have no sense of anything, guys. No sense of anything whatsoever. They're just looking out for themselves. It's completely insane, guys. There's also no kind of they're very self-absorbed people, and this is the kind of people that want to cancel, the people that want to get people just taken off, just craziness, guys, that they try and develop. And it's absolutely insane.
And they will loudly proclaim that, especially to their superiors, and denigrate you like mad if you dare to offer a counter proposition. And narcissists, it's
like taking no blame, guys. There's no degree of accountability for actions. There's no blame. I am always right. You guys have to understand that being arrogant is not a great thing, because if someone comes and tells you something, you have to take that information, digest it, and see, they're a good person to listen to that information and take it and do it. If you don't listen to information from people, what are you even doing, guys? You can't progress in any way.
It's a camouflage strategy in some sense. The narcissist passes him or herself off as a competent and confident person.
Yeah, dude. This is always the case. They always act like they're very sharp and stuff, but they're not self-aware. They're not like emotionally in touch with what's going on. Nothing ever matters. Just to make that person feel little or small, or whatever the case may be. So it's actually crazy, guys. Like, narcissists are, man, just run a mile, guys, when you see that, because I know some people right now, guys, it's crazy. But I'm not friends with these people anymore. And you guys shouldn't either. If you have narcissists in your group, guys, or whatever the case may be, and I've only known like one, like, and this is like couple of years ago than run a mile, guys. You know, trying to debate or have good conversation or trying to change these guys' minds. You know, it's just, there's nothing you can do, guys. It's just an absolute, it's just like rigid, like, you know, it's crazy, guys. It's like crazy behavior. It's like psychopathic behavior, for real.
One way of elevating your reputation is to claim unearned moral virtue. And so a huge part of what motivates the woke nonsense that insists that the mere reflexive act of feeling sorry for someone constitutes a moral virtue is an attempt to claim a reputational status without having to do any of the work whatsoever to be a genuinely good person. To be a good person, you have to be productive. That's hard. And you have to be generous. And that's hard. And you have to play medium to long-term, stable, voluntary games with other people. And that's hard. That's
I'm not gonna lie, guys, he's spitting facts here. Like, I actually am starting to change I never hated Jordan Peterson. I just never listened to any of his stuff, guys. I watched the Slavoj Žižek and Jordan Peterson debate, and it looked like both of them kind of came out as winners in that debate, but you know, Slavoj Žižek was just a little bit more, he's more of a philosopher, which I kind of am more appealed to. But yeah, this is spitting facts, guys. This is class.
Nothing but diligent, upward-oriented work over years puts you in that position. Whereas if you make a unwarranted moral claim, I'm compassionate, let's say, then instantly you're with the angels, and it also allows you to derogate those who you regard as predatory, let's say, and also enhance your moral virtue. Not only am I compassionate, and that makes me good, and I'm on the side of the angels, but there are the snakes, and they're not in me at all.
Yeah, guys.
Because I'm saintly in all regards.
You guys ever be around people that are constantly like, oh, this guy's bad, this guy's bad, this guy's bad? It's like, or like they're saying what they did. Oh, I remember this guy. These people are trying to, you know, they're trying to push any kind of awareness about what they did themselves, push it, completely put on other people. It's like basically just like completely trying to blame other people for basically what they're doing, guys. It's like projection, you know, if you guys just Google projection, just like it means, you know, you're trying to project your feelings, what you actually are doing yourself, you're saying that other people are doing it. It's a really scary thing, guys. And you know, when you actually boil it down, these people that accuse people and all this kind of stuff, it's really bad, guys. You know, not always, guys, but like 90% of the case, when you see a guy, you know, everyone now is blaming Andrew Tate, you know, but you see it comes out all over the internet, H3, True Geordie, they're all misogynist and weird with women and all this craziness, guys. And it's coming from these people that hate Tate, guys. It's always these people. It's always because they know, oh, let me just try and get as much, I don't want to get any, you know what I mean? I don't want to get any attention whatsoever. Let me put all the attention on them, guys. Let me just blame them. But actually, in reality, it's the person themselves. Like, it's a great tactic, guys. This is what narcissists do, you know?
And so the snakes have to be somewhere. We all suffer from the problem of where to put Satan, that's for sure. And the most convenient place to put him is in someone else. And it's even more convenient if that redounds to your benefit and plays to your political aspirations.
Yep.
I know a few persons like that, and a lot of them are very active on Twitter.
Yeah, well, Twitter doesn't bring
Go follow me on Twitter, County Gains.
out the best in people, likely including me. So
Would you say this is a more feminine?
It's a feminine style of antisocial behavior. So
it is feminine, guys.
There-
You know, you're a little bitch, man. as Mr. Dave Chappelle would say. You know what I mean? You're just a bitch-ass pussy, guys, because you're just blaming everyone else like you're the police or something. Like, guys, listen, guys, when people start blaming people that start doing this stuff, just know that them themselves are trying to, you know, take the attention away from them. Whenever someone says, oh, this guy did this, I'm like, yeah, dude, we know you did it. Quit bullshitting. Like, so it's just a really weird tactic, you know, that people use, guys.
Yeah. Well, there's two forms of antisocial behavior. There's a male form and a female form.
Right.
Or a masculine form, that's a better way of thinking about it, and a feminine form, because men can play the feminine ASP game, antisocial personality, and females can play the male game. Male antisocial types they tend to be physically violent.
Right.
And that's evident at the age of 2 already. So there's a subset of 2-year-olds who are already criminals in the making, let's say. They bite, kick, hit, and steal if they're put among other 2-year-olds. Most of them are socialized out of it by the age of 4. Vast majority, but some aren't, and they tend to be outcasts from then on, because 4-year-olds don't like 4-year-old aggressive 2-year-olds. They won't play with them, and then they get isolated, and then they become
affects
bullies
you
and juvenile
too.
delinquents, and it's a bad pathway. It's very stable too. It's very sad. It's very sad actually, but the male pattern is violent, and we don't like violent criminals, and those are the people who tend to be locked up. And a disproportionate number of people, I think it's 95% in prisons are male, and they're almost all violent. We're much harder on petty violent criminals than we are on like the kinds of white-collar criminals who steal the pensions of like 60,000 people.
Right.
And that's not obvious that that's a wise distinction. But being mugged is no fun, so you can understand why that's so stringently controlled. Female violent aggression doesn't work very well.
No.
First of all, girls tend not to fight physically with one another, and certainly girls can't fight. Girls can fight with boys because there's not much difference between girls and boys, say before puberty in terms of physical strength. But once puberty hits, women can't compete in the physical aggression domain, and they're not inclined to either, because they could use guns and knives, but they tend not to. But women have their own underground means of stealing.
Yeah, and wait till what he says, because I don't even know what I already know this guy's what he's going to say before us. They use words and they try and kill your reputation. They try and like bring you down. And guys do this now, guys. I know loads of guys that try and bring other guys down. Like, can you imagine if you just were just talking shit about another guy? Like, it's just, I mean, talking real shit. You know, you can contest people's opinions. Like, I comment on people's videos like, yo, that's not a good thing. Why are you promoting this, right? That's just like a genuine thing, right? Like, I don't give a shit. I mean, come see me, you know what I mean? But if you know, because you gotta have debate too, guys. You can't just be like that. But if you're trying to like just bring a guy's character down because of that, you're a bitch, man. You're just straight up, like, just straight up.
And they steal reputation, and they're very good at it. And it's very many women and many other men as well who use this pattern of derogation and reputation enhancement.
And is this a scientific fact?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a well-developed psychiatric literature stemming back decades.
Yeah, welcome to the party, bro. Who's this guy?
Hi.
You know, I've talked about this publicly several times, and the journalists I talk to are always stunned that how could I possibly propose such a thing? It's like, well, there's a 50-year literature on it. Just because you don't know it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I thought everybody knew that, guys. I'm very well rehearsed in philosophy, not so much psychology, guys, but a little bit psychology. But you know, definitely Jordan Peterson is spitting facts here, guys. He is amazing educated, guys. If you guys listen to him, he'll educate you guys.
Yeah, and it's reputation savaging and derogation. Mean girls, you can't play with us. You can't sit with us. No, and that's simultaneously a self-elevation and also a derogation of the other. It's very effective and very pernicious and extremely difficult to control. Like, what do you do about it? If you're a girl and you're isolated and shamed in that way, what can you do? You can't really use recourse to authority, because if you go tell a teacher, let's say you're being picked on in junior high, then you're just laughed at because you can't handle your own battles, and you can't bring it to a physical, to the point of physical altercation. You can if you're a man, and that happens very rapidly with men, which is why it almost never happens. It happens almost immediately with men. It's like, what did you say? Do you want to say that again? And any man worth his salt knows how to play that game. And so generally among men, this just doesn't happen. Now on Twitter,
you know, that doesn't happen, guys, because people confront you. You know, I've had to confront people. You have to, as a man, not talk shit, guys. Just straight up. Like, if you're just talking shit about another dude, guys, like real shit, like just like, oh, this guy's doing this guy, you're just a bitch, man, because that guy slapped the shit out you. You know what I'm saying? When they see you guys, you know what I mean, it's on sight. So don't talk shit about people, guys. That's what's gonna happen, guys. You know, women, it's a little bit different. You can ostracize women and stuff like that. If you're a chick, not much will happen from it. It's really degrading. But as guys, I mean, you're gonna fight straight away. You talk shit about someone, you're gonna fight. That's what's gonna lead to, guys. And it's not a good idea.
Online, that's a different story, because that pathway of reputation denigration beckons, and social media facilitates its distribution in an appalling manner. And it might be the death of all of us, that. So the incentive structures on the social media platforms, the social communication platforms, are wrong, because the antisocial, psychopathic, Machiavellian, narcissistic types who use reputation derogation are privileged in their communications and not punished. And that's a very bad idea.
Damn, that is a powerful statement what he said at the end, guys. There's no punishment, guys, online. When you say, that was one of the first things I learned in business school, you know, like, you're not punished by the shit that you talk online, guys. You know, you can just talk shit all day long and nobody cares. You know, so it is really bad. Hope you guys enjoyed that, man. Please leave in the comments down below what you guys think, man. Is cancel culture bad? Do you guys agree with it? I love you all, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.